You're listening to I Went to a Singles Night, where real people who came along tell us anonymously exactly what it was like, the nerves, surprises, the awkward bits, and everything in between. This week, I went to a singles night and I became a werewolf. So you came along to a Traitors event, which is an event we've actually got coming up on Saturday, excitingly. But we are having more trouble getting the ladies to sign up than the men. So thank you for coming on. Please let the ladies out there know how you felt before you signed up and what made you sign up for Traitors.
Okay, so I saw on my Facebook feed, it came up, and I saw this singles in Shropshire, and I thought, oh, what a great idea, because I've always liked the idea of something a little bit more organic than, sort of the dating apps. And actually, it was the quiz night that really sort of grabbed my attention, and I tried to sign up for that, but then the tickets were all sold out for the ladies. So I scrolled down and then I saw the traitors or the werewolves and
Yeah.
villagers and said, oh, if you like the traitors, you're going to love this. And I thought, oh, that is so a bit of me. Definitely. That's far more me, I think, than anything. I love to just be childish and just to kind of just have fun. And I love the idea of just coming along with no pressure and just to sort of see I wasn't really thinking about, oh, I might meet somebody. It was more about, oh, I'm going to have a night out and I'm really looking forward to it because it's going to be a laugh. And that's really what appealed to me about it. I think the whole thing about meeting somebody was secondary in my mind. I thought, oh, I'm single and I can go to this event.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Love that. So it's that kind of element of having fun without having pressure.
Definitely, because I do think when you're on a one-on-one date, especially on, when you go on a dating app, which to be fair, I haven't been on for 9 years, so it's not appealed to me since I've been single to go and do that because I've heard some horror stories since. I liked the idea that you would see people in the flesh and you would spend a few hours with them. You can kind of get a little bit of a feel about how, who people are and how they are in different circumstances. And for me, I just felt that would be a much better way of getting to meet people. I also think when you're on a date with somebody, um, you're looking for that spark. And actually, you could have had a friendship that might have blossomed from something, but you really focused on, is there a spark? And you
Yeah.
just bin people off because you don't fancy them. But actually, if you'd have given them a longer chance to get to know them,
Yeah.
which I think with now what I'm seeing with these events that you're putting on, Pixie, it means that you could go to several things and get to know people over a certain amount of time and start to build something with people that you may not even have looked at twice before.
Yes, no, certainly. I mean, I'm getting to know a few people that I don't like to say regulars because I know they'll be off. But people that have been to a few events, and even for me, I've developed a closer friendship as the events have gone on. So I can only imagine that if you're putting yourself romantically out there. But yeah, I think that is a benefit. Like online dating is very shallow, isn't it? And even having just the 4 minutes at speed dating is a very different experience to having this 3 hours with somebody. So tell me
I've
how you felt about the game, because obviously it's not a game that most people have played, and I think that might be playing into some hesitancy to sign up. So maybe from your perspective, just let people know what the actual game itself was like.
Yeah, so well, the game itself, I must admit, I was a bit kind of, oh, when I saw the chair situation, I think you put it on Facebook and I saw that there was all these chairs. I was like, wow, is that going to work then? Which obviously it does. But yeah, I think the whole thing about you go in and you sit down and you haven't really thought about who you're going to sit next to. You just sit next to anybody. And then with Joe, who's just the most amazing games master and just so theatrical with
I
it as
know.
well.
He has
You
a
all just,
drama degree.
yeah, you all just, well, that's what it is. You all just get sucked into it, and everyone just gets into the kind of mindset. Okay, so I could be a traitor, I could be, you're not traitor, are we? We're werewolves.
Werewolf, yeah.
Could be a werewolf, could be a villager, could be the bodyguard. I remember thinking before I went, I really hope I don't get picked to be a
Yeah.
werewolf, because I'm just never going to manage it. I'm never going to be able to fool people. And when Joe was going around, because obviously he goes around, doesn't he? He taps
Yeah.
everybody on the shoulder once if you're going to be a werewolf, and 5 times if you're going to be a bodyguard. Then if he doesn't tap you, you're a villager. When I felt that tap on my shoulder, I was like, oh no, I'm a werewolf. How am I going to do this? Because I'm such a giggler. And, you know, I have a nervous laughter as well, which I made sure that everybody in the room knew about that. Because then I thought, if I keep going on about, I'm a villager, and I chuckle, then people go, oh, it's all right, because she said that she had a nervous laughter. So it's okay. But yeah, so obviously Joe goes round, and then we all have to close our eyes. And I think there was something about, that's right, then he said that the werewolves, you have to open your eyes and then you see who all your other werewolves are. It all sounds a bit weird when you're talking about it now to people who are not there, but
Yeah.
you get so engrossed and
Yeah.
involved in it, and then you become the werewolf. And then we obviously have to then pick somebody that we're gonna get rid of that night. And then the next day, when we all wake up in the morning, we all go around the room and say who we thought was the werewolf.
Yeah.
And I did actually manage to get to the end of the game without getting picked, but a few
You
people
won.
had me pegged. A few people had me pegged at the beginning, but they all got
They got
killed.
distracted. Yeah, distracted or killed, didn't they? And the thing is, when someone goes really heavy for someone, they're like, I think it's you. They tend to get killed.
Yes,
If
I
you
know,
put
but
your
it
head
was
above the parapet.
nothing to do with me, I promise. There was the werewolves that decided. They would just point to somebody and I go, yeah, that's fine. To be fair, I didn't have my glasses on most of the night, so see. But no, it was fabulous, and it was a really good game. And obviously we've got to keep going until there's the same amount of werewolves as there are villagers. And but I must have had people fooled, because the bodyguard saved me.
Yeah.
And I got given, what was it, the sword
of protection.
Sword of protection
By someone else, didn't you?
Yeah. So it was really,
you can't
weird.
die, you see. If you have the sword of protection, the werewolves can't kill you. And this person was a werewolf. So
Yeah.
that meant that someone else wasn't safe. So that works really well in your favour, didn't it?
But it did. And it was great. And it was just a way as well. What I loved is about the fact that we all went into the room at the beginning of the night as strangers, and we didn't like know who people were. We just sort of half chatted to them in the bar. But by the end of the evening, you pretty much knew people's names, and you were having banter. And, you know, it was different to the game, because we had the game, but we had the banter, and everyone was just laughing and joking with each other. There was a real camaraderie. I loved it.
It does create that team spirit. It really does. And not knowing who to trust, and it just creates, like you say, that banter. I mean, the one guy, you'll know who I mean. He was a target from the off.
Oh, without a doubt.
Get killed and get killed. It's so funny. And let's talk about the dating aspect then. So did you get a date from the event?
I did actually, but I will say that it was only at the end when you sort of said, oh, don't forget to put people on your card. I thought, oh, gosh, I've come to a singles night. And I completely forgot, because I was so engrossed in the evening and so worried about giving myself away as a werewolf. I completely forgot. Chatting to everybody. But yes, I did get a date, so for me it was definitely a successful evening, and I didn't get pegged as a werewolf either.
Yeah, you did well there. You won effectively. So it was a double win, a date, and you took people
Certainly
out as a werewolf. I bet you were quite glad to have been a werewolf though, really, because it's,
I think in a way it probably was the best thing for me in the end. But yeah, I had been very nervous about it. And during the evening, when you have to go to the bar and you're still mingling around with everybody and pretending that, you know, you're a villager when you're actually a werewolf, that was quite difficult at times. And there was a few things that happened where somebody had said, but I know they're a werewolf, you've got to vote for them. And I was like, oh, well, I don't know that. I don't know that they are unless I've seen it with my own eyes. I'm not going to vote for them.
So you still had to play the game in the breaks at the bar? Oh, that's brilliant, isn't it? Oh, that's so good. And we had 2 games, didn't we?
Yeah, we did 2 games.
Yeah, and this time we're gonna get people moving chairs as well, because that was some feedback, which was good feedback.
I think that's great feedback, to be
Mm,
honest, because you do sit with the same people
yeah,
and around the same people. And I think when everyone comes into the room, you kind of end up sitting next to somebody that
yeah,
you've probably been chatting to at the bar, which
yeah,
probably for the ladies would probably be another lady, and for the
yeah.
men, probably another man. So to mix it up a bit I think that's a great idea.
Bit of musical chairs. Yeah, Joe did suggest it near the end, and I was like, well, it's a bit late to be playing musical chairs now. It's near the end, but
Yeah,
I think 100% we're gonna have to do like maybe 4 rounds of changing chairs, because I just think, like you say, it just gives people that opportunity to look across the room at people, to get the energy of the people next to them.
definitely.
We are there effectively to meet a date. So if you can feel that energy from somebody, and and I want everyone to get the chance to talk to everyone. That's the
Yes,
point,
yeah,
isn't it?
I think that's a good idea.
Yes, that's good. I mean, what about for people that maybe are lacking a little bit of confidence? Because I think that might stop people attending.
Well, I think the most important thing that everybody should realise is that everybody was nervous. I don't know, in a room of 20, it was 25 people, I think,
Hmm.
wasn't it? I don't know of anybody that came and going, oh, yeah, well, I wasn't bothered at all. Everybody was nervous. I heard stories about, people sitting in their car for 25 minutes because they
Yeah.
didn't want to come in. People, like, even myself, I had a bit of a wobble, I would say, a couple of days and leading up to the event, where I just thought, oh, I'm too old, because I was right at the very threshold of
Okay.
the age group thing. And that kind of made me a bit nervous about going. But in the grand scheme of things, it really didn't matter. No one came in there thinking, oh, well, I didn't care. Everybody was nervous. And the most important thing really is just walking through that door. That is the bravest thing that anybody could do. And the hardest thing that you've got to do is just walking in. For me, I found getting there early helped me. I find that with something like that, I'd rather not walk into a room of people. I'd rather be there at the beginning, and then I can kind of, chat to people as they come in, and
Yeah.
then that helps me. But I do know that there was a lot of very, very nervous people who almost didn't come in and drove home, but were so pleased that they did come
Yes.
in the end, because they had a great night. We all
Mm,
did.
we had people there that hadn't had or been on a date for about 11 years. So
Yeah,
just really gets people out of their shell. And what I'm finding, the feedback from most of the events, the people that tell me anyway, is that they get confidence from the events. It doesn't take from their confidence. Even if they don't get a match, they're putting themselves around a community of lovely, open people who are also feeling a tiny bit vulnerable. And, that gives them the confidence to,
I
go.
think the fact that everybody has got a common shared goal, interest, whatever you call it, but we're all there for the same reason ultimately. However, I also think that, putting on these events, like you say, it builds people's confidence, but it gets you out of the house, and it gets you amongst people. I mean, I know when I go out with my friends, I'm out with my friends. I'm not really interested in meeting or chatting to anybody, because
Yeah.
it brings a different dynamic. Whereas this, we're all there, we're all single. You know that whoever you chat to is single as well. So if you get a bond with them, that's great. And if you come away and all you've had is a good evening, that for me is perfectly fine
It's a
as
win,
well,
right?
really. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So are you going to check out any of our other events?
I am indeed. So I've signed up for the karaoke, so I should just warn people now,
Ah,
bring your earplugs.
are you going to be singing?
I will be cheering loudly for everyone that's singing on there. No matter, and the people that sing the worst usually get the biggest cheers from me.
Ah,
So I'm
love
expecting a
that.
lot of cheers.
Well, we've gone with a pink and black theme for this one. So, I
Amazing.
like my themes. I've got
Yeah,
actual ducks that are black with pink hats. You know how I like my
brilliant.
ducks. Got
Yeah,
one here. So we've gone with the ducks. So it's going to be, well, I think we're going with the matching game again.
yeah,
But a different, or you weren't at the disco, were you? So we had a matching game where somebody had one half of a partnership. So you had like Bill and Ben, and you
yeah.
had to go and find your other half. This time I think I'm going to do pictures. So you have half a picture and you've got to go and find the person
Oh,
who has the
sounds
other
like a
half.
great idea. That sounds like a really good idea.
Well,
Yes.
it made people talk to each other,
Yeah.
which we didn't have at the first disco. So every time I do something, I do learn from them. And I think this gets people immediately having a reason to go round talking. So nobody stood on their own, even if they come along on their own, there's a reason. So
Well, you did that at the beginning of the Villagers and Werewolves. We
yeah,
had, is it the meet up, what's it called?
find the guest bingo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bingo. And I loved that because you were just running around, just asking people, have you been scuba diving? Have you been to Disneyland? And it was brilliant. And then you could just write people's names down, but you were chatting and you were already starting to feel, I think, a little bit more at ease with
Yeah.
everybody in the room. And again, everyone is in the same boat. Everyone's got the same assignment. So we were all doing exactly what we had to do. And of course, everyone wanted a chocolate orange pixie, you know.
Oh wow. I've got them here with me today. Yeah, I've already been out shopping for the Traitors event, so I've already ate one.
So, yeah.
So I had to replace that today. I'm not joking. I always eat them. Jack said you really should get them on the day. I'm
You
like,
should really buy them on the way there, I think, definitely.
yeah, not even on the day. I said to him it would have to be as I drive up to the hotel. So yeah, it's at Horton again. So you came along to the hotel. They're absolutely lovely to us there. Bar was very quick, wasn't it? Very quick
It
on
was
them.
really quick, lovely people. And I think they appreciated that everybody was in that situation. So they were really kind and really sort of nice and helpful. And, you know, there was no sort of hassles at the bar. You didn't have to wait ages. Everybody was just served really quickly. It's a great event as well. I think when you have an event like the Werewolves and Villagers, I think it really helps with the venue as well. You know, it's like when you look at Traitors on the TV, it's in that big castle, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so the fact that you've got that
Yeah.
venue, I think really fits with it, to be honest.
I
It's
didn't
great.
even that. That didn't even cross my mind. It's so funny how other people see things that you don't see.
Well, it's very oldie,
Yeah.
wildy in there as well, isn't it? Especially in the entrance hall with all the panelling and
Yeah. Do you know what? I didn't even think. And this time we're going to put the Traitors music on as people come in, I think.
oh, brilliant.
Get a bit of atmosphere on the go. And yeah, so that'll be good. Oh, well, that's fab. Well, thank you so much. Just one last question, little piece of advice. If you could give it to anybody, any ladies thinking about coming along, what's the one piece of advice that you think that they should hear?
Oh, I just think, just do it. Just think, I'm going for an evening out. That's it. That's all you have to think. That's as far as you have to think. Forget about the fact that, oh, I'm single and I've got to go and I've got to, you know, find somebody and all of that. I think just say, I'm single and I'd like to have an evening out and just take it from there.
I love that. Well, thank you so much. And thanks for chatting to us. I'm sure you've helped a lot of people make their minds
Hope
up.
so.